In life, we receive many teachers, people who show up, impart knowledge, and make an impact. But we are blessed if we receive one true mentor in our lives. James Wines has been my mentor. He's been my professor, my boss, a trusted advisor, and a friend. He helped broaden my views of architecture, art, and design, along with my personal outlook on what I could achieve. For decades, James taught at Penn State while concurrently operating his studio site in New York City. Surely, it would have been easier to teach at other universities within a subway ride of his apartment in Soho, Cooper Union, NYU, Pratt, or Columbia. But he once told me he stayed at Penn State for the students here. The students that showed raw talent and potential and a monk-like level of focus that only the isolation of the rural Pennsylvania mountains could provide. My favorite memories with James were his dinner parties with his wife, Chris. They would often organize these, typically held at a mid-tier buffet restaurant in town. Cal Stuckeman, the benefactor of this building, was a frequent friend of James and would come to a number of these dinner parties that I attended. And I recall one time that when we were getting up to leave, the restaurant was closed. It was probably about 11 o'clock at night. And Cal, who was well into his 90s, put his palm on the table and said, "Where's everyone going? Wait, let's just tell one more story." And that just shows the warmth that both James and Chris showed to their guests and friends alike. Students, teachers, benefactors, he treated them all with this sort of warm reception. Embedded in that fun environment that James liked to procure is a serious creative process and a mindfulness of heavy challenges that we face today, particularly our impact on the natural environment. Just 2 days ago, when I called James to tell him of this award, he was elated, but quickly pivoted to discuss recent new evidence of our detrimental impact on the planet. While working for James, I found that this mixture of play and seriousness was at the heart of site. As ideas were often generated at a dinner table in the office, where everyone was welcome to freewheeled ideas and sketches until we would find, quote, the big idea. And once that arrived, we would all kind of culminate around this big idea and figure out how we could develop it further. During my time, several big ideas included a wave-like landscape proposal for the Serpentine Gallery in London. What you see on the screen here, a Denny's in Las Vegas that included a wedding chapel, as well as a sculptural wristwatch inspired by topography that had a great 10-year run at MoMA Store and other places, and a 100-foot by 100-foot drawing that served as the floor for retrospective exhibit at City College, among many other big ideas. And I would encourage all of you to explore his legacy of art and architecture further throughout his illustrious career, and we'll likely have an exhibit here in the near future. Now let's talk about the prize. This award is a frame print drawing of the Shake Shack. So, James's daughter, Suzanne, picked this from the archive, and James designed the original Shake Shack in Madison Square Park, which not only got built, but the visual style of the architecture continues to influence the aesthetic of the now international brand. So this is one that Suzanne, also his daughter, was heavily involved in this project and went behind his back to slip this drawing out of his studio to get it printed. It was printed by the A83 Gallery in Soho, so we thank them as well for their work. This prize, again, just to kind of reiterate here, is to honor James' career by recognizing a thesis student who takes risks, shows courage, and challenges the status quo. All essential design attributes for an excellent professional designer. The special consideration, as I mentioned in the beginning, was given to a student who incorporates the following qualities: exceptional wit, storytelling, irony, social commentary, and subversion of cliches. And I went through right now an independent process, I promise, completely separate from the thesis jury, and meticulously went through every thesis and came to the exact same conclusion they did. Jackie, Zheng, you are the first recipient of the inaugural James Wines Prize. And I have another surprise award. And this person does not like surprises. but I think it's well due. I did mention this to James that we would be giving this award, but this is a honorary James Wine's Provocateur Prize to Darla Lindberg for and in particular for her really undying commitment to the thesis process in a time whenever there's sort of less students involved in the involved thesis. So her rigorous dedication I've seen firsthand over the past couple of years, and I'm sure James can attest that he is very proud of the level of work that we're seeing and creativity in the process. So we know it's not easy to shepherd that many thesis students through this rigorous process. So thank you so much, Darla.
And
Amy Allen to unmute James if you'd like to say anything.
I can ask him to unmute.
Oh,
I can unmute
James,
him.
if you'd like to say anything, feel free to unmute.
I'll say, I didn't know they were giving my drawings away.
All right, I'm muted.
You did it.
He's unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So you can talk. So congratulations, Darla.
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, should I say something?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Well, I'm dying to see the winner. Is there an illustration or something?
I'll shoot you later. I'll give you a call.
It's a great honor. This is wonderful. And I appreciate it very deeply. And I also hope that in thinking about alternatives, in fact, we're doing a book right now called, which is the question we always ask in our office my whole life, what else could it mean? We all kind of know what traditional architecture, modernism and constructivism, the game of rules and structure and, function and so forth. But in fact, our history of architecture is really been about information, conveying content, and for thousands of years. So that was a major factor. It was the internet of its time. So I very much advocate that, and I hope the award, as it continues, will look at that very seriously, that it's not just innovation for innovation's sake. It's finding something to say that is also meaningful to the whole structure of society. We certainly know that architecture has drifted very much into politics and sociology now for obvious reasons. It's just the politics of the time. I won't get into that one, but that's both catastrophic and unique in my life. But I just want to say I'm deeply honored by this, and I hope I'll be able to follow it. And I'm certainly dying to see Jackie Zheng's project, and I hope this continues. And I hope it will expand to take into account that whatever